animals.
Domestic animals. So again, that really puts the whole issue in perspective, I think. Are we dealing with some dangerous animal here? I believe not. And when I look at the value that this animal is providing, the control of geese, the control of the deer herd and of the rodents, I think a community should feel lucky to have a top predator like this in the neighborhood. The statistics just don't add up that it's a danger to humans.
Now, there are people who obviously don't feel that way.
Right.
There have been some communities that have adopted the policy, we are going to hunt the coyotes out of our community. What do you say to that?
Well, basically I think it's a waste of time, because what coyotes will do, and this again has been pointed out in this study, they will fill the void, so to speak. In other words, they have their territories, but those territories won't last forever. And when they break down, then lone coyotes who might be out there searching for their own territory or to start up their own pack will take over places that don't have coyotes. So my feeling is that if you try to remove coyotes from an area, the surrounding area is going to fill that void, because the coyotes are always looking to spread their area, and if there's a void there, they will find it.
Now, that void being filled, that includes if you had a population of coyotes that were sick, let's say possibly with rabies, you clear out your population of healthy coyotes,
right?
It could be backfilled with sick coyotes.
Right. But let's be clear on one thing too. Coyotes are not known as a rabies carrier. Obviously, if a person ever was bitten, you know, you'd be safe to have the rabies shots. But what's been shown here in the United States is that, I guess in southern Texas, there was a small rabies problem there, but they're not generally known as a rabies carrier. That doesn't mean they couldn't be bitten by an animal that has rabies, so that possibility is always there. Any disease that's been affected, that affects coyotes, it's usually the mange. And people may see this, so this is a good thing to be aware of. When a coyote has the mange, it starts to lose its fur coat, and so they look really scraggly. And they will eventually get very weak, and that's at a point when they may appear to people to be not afraid of people, but probably they're just their energy level's so low that they don't have the energy to run away. So those should probably be reported.
Okay.
If somebody sees a real sick one like that. But that is not considered a disease that would be dangerous to people.
Well, and that's good news.
Yeah.
You brought a sound file with us today,
right,
of coyotes. Could we play that, Steve? So that's definitely not like a sound of a dog or a wolf.
It's definitely different. And I think that's really important, again, for people to hear that, because they may very well hear a coyote but never see it. And I have heard coyotes right here in the township at 10 o'clock in the morning responding to fire engine
no kidding.
Signals, right? Going down Telegraph Road, all of a sudden the coyote pack steps in and to declare that this is their territory and that fire engine better stay over there on Telegraph Road and don't come near. So I never saw the coyotes, but I could clearly hear them. It was so loud, in fact, I thought I had to walk around the building. I thought I'd see them right there, and it turned out they were back hidden in the woods somewhere, but I could hear them so clearly. So that's a very typical sound.
Well, it sounds like from everything that you've given, all the information that you've given us here today, it sounds like there really is no need or call for mass hunting or a clean out of the coyote population here in the township. Would that be correct?
That is my belief. I just think it would not be worth doing. And again, I think the predator coyote is fulfilling a role here. and not causing humans problems. Obviously, people with small pets might have to change their behaviors a little bit, but other than that, I think it should be an animal that should be able to survive here without a problem.
And as a public safety officer myself, I have a little bit of a trepidation about the idea of high-powered firearms being discharged near homes and schools to deal with something that really isn't a problem to begin with.
Right.
Dan, I want to thank you so much for coming here, but you know what, before you leave, I got to give you a plug, and the E.L. Johnson Center a plug. I took some photographs last week, and I got to say, the center looks absolutely nothing like it did when I was a kid growing up here in the township. Never saw a coyote, by the way, either, and I walked to school every day.
They weren't here then.
Yeah. But I took some pictures, and I just got to say it's an absolutely beautiful facility. When was it redone?
The visitor center was built 3 years ago, so if people haven't been out in a few years, they should come by and see. They'll be really impressed with it. And of course, our trails go throughout the property, and if you haven't walked the property in a long time, even it has changed over time as things grow and so on. It's a very good place to walk. Anybody needs to get out and get a little exercise, have cabin fever here this winter, this is a great place to come.
I'll tell you, around lunchtime when I'm on patrol, I usually see several cars in the parking lot, people doing just that, getting out and stretching their legs at lunchtime.
Great.
Well, I'd like to thank you again for being here today. I've learned an awful lot, and I hope you have as well. For the Bloomfield Township Police Department, I am Pete Matejcik, and I'd like to thank you for watching.